हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस। आई एम गौतम दीक्षित, जीके एंड करंट अफेयर्स फैकल्टी। आज के इस वीडियो में हम डेली हिंदू एनालिसिस करेंगे नवंबर 13, 2021 का। दोस्तों, हम रोज डेली हिंदू एनालिसिस करते हैं। उस वीडियो को एक्सेस करने के लिए प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस प्राइवेट लिमिटेड यूट्यूब चैनल। आज के जो हमारे न्यूज़ हैं, मोस्ट ऑफ द न्यूज़ आर रिकरिंग इन नेचर। एक जो नया न्यूज़ है जिसको आपको अच्छे से करना है, दैट इज़ अबाउट नेशनल असेसमेंट सर्वे दैट वी विल सी ऑन पेज नंबर 8 और 10. Now, some of the news which are very important and which we are doing is about the COP26. हमने कल भी पढ़ा था about the five-fold plan of India, which is like India's non-fossil energy capacity to be 500 gigawatt by 2030. Then country will meet its 50% of its electricity requirement with the renewable energy by 2030 and many more, which we will revise today again. After that, we have Chennai rain, which is 5 times above normal. Then we have a news from China where the annual plenum was taking place, and now the new resolution, the third resolution in the history of Communist Party of China, it has come out, and it has recognized Xi Jinping as the core leader, and we will see the other outcomes of that. Then we will also discuss today about the Belarus-Poland issue, which is going on related to the migrants from West Asia. Now, the first important news is negotiators at COP26 brainstorm over draft. Now, what is this COP26? COP26, it is the 26th meeting of the Conference of Parties to United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, इसे हम UNFCCC भी कहते हैं. It is the outcome of Rio Earth Summit. Now, the 26th meeting of the Conference of Party, it was held in Glasgow in Scotland. Now, some of the important points from exam point of view are the 2022 edition, जो अगले साल जो Conference of Parties होगा, okay, it will be held in Egypt, Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt. And the 2023 edition, जो 20 that is COP28, okay, so COP28 will be held in UAE. तो हम इसको फिर से याद कर लेते हैं. COP26 जो है, it was held in Glasgow, Scotland, UK. COP27 will be held in Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt, and COP28 will be held in UAE. Now, इस न्यूज़ में क्या है? इस न्यूज़ में बेसिकली is about the demand of the developing country from the developed nations. So हमने कल के न्यूज़ में भी पढ़ा था that India has announced its 5-fold plan for tackling climate change. So we will just have a revision of that. So the first is the non-fossil energy capacity of India will be 500 gigawatt by 2030. Then 50% of the installed electricity will be from renewable energy by 2030. Then India will reduce the carbon emission by 1 billion tons by 2030. Again, India will cut the carbon intensity of its economy to less than 45%, and country will achieve, means India will achieve net zero emission by 2070. बट इंडिया ने एक कंडीशन पुट फॉरवर्ड किया है डेवलप कंट्रीज के सामने दैट दे नीड $1,000 बिलियन फंड स्पेशली आफ्टर 2025, एंड दे वांट कमिटमेंट फ्रॉम द डेवलप्ड कंट्री, एंड दैट इज द bone of contention, you can say, between the developed countries and developing countries. Now, the next is the Chennai rain 5 times above normal. So we are already doing the Chennai rain. It's very heavy and it claimed 14 lives, which we saw in the yesterday's newspaper. Now, we also saw that one of the main reason that why Chennai is witnessing rain in November and December is because of one reason is northeast monsoon wind, which gives rainfall only on the eastern coast of India, and that also Chennai, that is also called as Coromandel coast. The second is the formation of depression in southeast Bay of Bengal. So now earlier the depression was formed in southeast Bay of Bengal, which led to heavy rainfall in Chennai and the adjoining area. अब जो इंडियन मेट्रोलॉजिकल डिपार्टमेंट है वो कह रहा है कि इसके साथ साथ अब एक और डिप्रेशन मीन्स लो प्रेशर एरिया विच विल टर्न इनटू साइक्लोन लेटर ऑन, तो एक और डिप्रेशन बन रहा है इन द ईस्ट सेंट्रल एंड एडजॉइनिंग एरिया ऑफ साउथ ईस्ट बे ऑफ बंगाल, एंड इट विल इंटेंसिफाई फ्रॉम नवंबर 15. इसका मतलब है कि चेन्नई में रेन वो अब रुकने वाला नहीं है. फ्रॉम नवंबर 15 चेन्नई विल अगेन स्टार्ट विटनेसिंग हैवी रेनफॉल. The next important news is industrial output falls 2.6% in September. So index of industrial production हम कहते हैं इसको IIP. We also call it as IIP, index of industrial production. It is released by the National Statistics Office or National Statistical Office, which comes under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Rao Indrajit Singh is the incumbent Minister of State of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Now the news is that industrial output in September, देखिए हम अक्टूबर की बात कर रहे हैं. सो India's industrial output fell 2.6% month on month in September, and the inflation has gone up to 4.48% in October. तो जो इंडस्ट्रियल आउटपुट डेटा है वो सितंबर मंथ का आया है और जो इन्फ्लेशन डेटा है वो अक्टूबर मंथ का आया है. So if we will compare the index of industrial production, that is IIP, so this paragraph is important to understand the issue. So अगर हम सितंबर 2020 से कंपेयर करें तो इंडेक्स ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्शन है वो इट ग्रू मार्जिनली ओनली बाय 3.1% इन सितंबर 2021. नाउ अगर हम इसको अगस्त के डेटा से कंपेयर करते हैं तो हम क्या देखते हैं कि इन अगस्त द ग्रोथ फ्रॉम लास्ट ईयर अगस्त वॉज 12%. Now, what is the main reason behind this slow growth in volume of output of industrial products? So, it is moderation in industrial output is basically because of supply side constraints. तो supply side constraints मतलब high commodity prices हैं, shortage of supply है, इसके वजह से the output has fallen. Now, see this paragraph. High commodity prices and shortage of raw materials are impacting the production and overall growth of IIP. So this is the reason that why we are observing low IIP. The next reason can be that input price they have their prices have increased. Now why their prices have increased? Because of very high fuel prices. तो हमने देखा था कि ₹5 और ₹10 कट हुआ है एक्साइज ड्यूटी में, बट वो कट अभी अभी हुआ है. दैट कट वॉज नॉट इन सितंबर और अक्टूबर. तो उसका इम्पैक्ट जो है वो सितंबर और अक्टूबर में हमें देखने को मिल रहा है. द नेक्स्ट रीजन इज दैट बिकॉज ऑफ द बेस इफेक्ट, ओके, सो दैट इज अ शार्प डिक्सलरेशन ऑफ IIP ग्रोथ. नाउ वी विल कंटिन्यू विद द इन्फ्लेशन ट्रेंड. नाउ सी अबाउट इन्फ्लेशन. सो इन्फ्लेशन भी जो है वो 4.35% से 4.48% ग्रो किया है. And if we will just see, that is mainly because it is the price rise is mainly in the urban parts of the country. अब हम इसका ब्रेकअप देखते हैं. फूड प्राइसेस जो है वो सिर्फ 0.85% बढ़ा है, विच इज़ मार्जिनली हायर दैन द प्रीवियस मंथ, ओके. बट अगर हम अर्बन कंज्यूमर का बात करें तो उन्होंने 1.72% का इन्फ्लेशन फूड में देखा है. बट जो मेन इन्फ्लेशन इस वक्त जो हमको देखने को मिल रहा है, इट इज़ मेनली बिकॉज ऑफ ऑयल एंड फैट. There the inflation is still very sticky, very high, that is 33.5%. Then the next one is transport and communication inflation, which is at 10.9%. उसके साथ साथ अगर हम देखें the food and beverage index, okay, it is 2.3%. उसके बाद हम vegetable prices देखें तो it is 14.2%. So vegetable, oil and fat, transport and communication, यहाँ पे inflation अभी भी बहुत ज़्यादा है. The next is automobile manufacturing. It fell 9% in September. So auto production is slid for the second month in a row. Now ये हम इकोनॉमी के पेज पे भी करेंगे कि because of the rise in input cost and scarcity of semiconductor for the manufacturing of chip, the automobile sector is facing downfall in its production. Railways to resume regular train services. तो अब fares will be reverted back to pre-COVID levels. तो अब रेलवे जो है वो 20 months के बाद जो operation was disrupted because of pandemic, now railways have announced that they are going to resume the regular train services and the fare will be same as the pre-COVID level. The second is Pramod Chandra Modi, PC Modi, 1982 batch retired IAS officer, and he is the former chairman of CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes. He was appointed as the Secretary General of Rajya Sabha, and he is going to replace PPK Ramacharyalu. His tenure will be 1 year tenure. The next is study has found out that remote education was inaccessible to most children. So if we will just see that this report is by a national sample survey conducted by ICRIER and LIRNEA. Okay, is a think tank focused on digital policy. Now according to them, 20% of the school age children in India, they had access to remote education during the pandemic. Okay, तो सिर्फ 20% बच्चे ऐसे थे जिनके पास मोबाइल कह लो या लैपटॉप कह लो या इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गैजेट्स दे वर अवेलेबल फॉर देम टू एक्सेस द ऑनलाइन क्लासेस. Okay, then the survey has said that the digital connectivity shot up to 40% during the pandemic, but low access to device, poor signal and high cost prevented most children from reaping the benefit of online education. The next news is coming from the capital Delhi, where the air quality was in a severe category, and now the government has decided to launch the graded response action plan to control air pollution in the national capital region, because it is after Diwali the air pollution is at severe level 500 के ऊपर वाला. Now if you will just see that what is the meaning of GARAP. So it is a set of emergency measures which will be taken to reduce the air pollution depending on the level of pollution. This was notified by Union Environment Ministry in 2017. इसका एम था टू फाइट एयर पॉल्यूशन. सो एक्शंस क्या होते हैं GRAP के अंदर, अगर पॉल्यूशन लेवल अगर एमरजेंसी कैटेगरी का हो गया, सो एक्शंस विल बी द स्टॉपिंग ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटीज, लॉन्चिंग ऑफ ऑड इवन व्हीकल स्कीम बेस्ड ऑन द नंबर प्लेट्स. द नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट स्टबल बर्निंग, जो दिल्ली के आसपास के एरिया में जो स्टबल बर्निंग होता है, विच इज द चीफ सोर्स ऑफ PM 2.5 पार्टिकुलेट मैटर 2.5. It has also increased to 35% on Friday from 26% on Thursday. So they are contributing around 35% of the pollution. Now in the Delhi government had launched anti-dust campaign 2.0 to control dust pollution. Now center turns to chief ministers to sustain economic recovery. तो यहाँ पे इकोनॉमिक रिकवरी और इन्वेस्टमेंट की बात हुआ है. सो आवर प्राइम मिनिस्टर श्री नरेंद्र मोदी, ही विल बी प्रिसाइडिंग ओवर अ मीटिंग विद बैंकर्स नेक्स्ट वीक. तो ही विल टेक द स्टॉक ऑफ सिचुएशन ऑफ क्रिटिकल सेक्टर्स, फ्लो ऑफ फंड टू देम एंड मोबिलाइजेशन, so that investment can happen in these sectors and the economic revival can take place. The next is हमने कुछ दिन पहले पढ़ा था कि इंडिया रिक्वेस्टेड पाकिस्तान टू अलाउ ट्रांजिट ऑफ wheat फ्रॉम इंडिया टू अफगानिस्तान बाय रोड. It was denied by Pakistan later on. Now Pakistan has changed its stand and it's saying that Pakistan is favorably considering the transit facilities if Indian wheat is sent to Afghanistan. The Taliban administration has welcomed the offer, reiterating its call for urgent assistance. Now there are other bodies which are eager to help Taliban. So United Nations World Food Program, it is planning to send a consignment of wheat from India to deal with the unfolding hunger crisis in Afghanistan. Now आज का जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट न्यूज़ है, दैट इज़ नेशनल अचीवमेंट सर्वे. सो द फर्स्ट, सबसे पहले ये याद रखिए, इट इज़ द फर्स्ट नेशनल अचीवमेंट सर्वे इन लास्ट 4 years. मतलब पैंडमिक के बाद ये पहला नेशनल अचीवमेंट सर्वे है. और what it is going to do, it is going to assess the competencies of children in classes 3rd, 5th and 8th. Now how it will help, it will help to assess the learning interruption. अभी हमने फर्स्ट पेज पे जो किया था कि 20% चिल्ड्रन को ही एक्सेस था ऑनलाइन क्लास का, दो देयर वाज 40% इंक्रीज इन डिजिटल accessibility. So now this is going to assess the learning interruptions and new learnings during the COVID-19 pandemic, and then the government will plan the remedial measures. Then it is also going to reveal the level of learning losses which has been caused by shutdown. Now the next characteristic, the survey test, it will be conducted in कौन से सब्जेक्ट में ये होने वाला है, लैंग्वेज, मैथमेटिक्स, इन्वायरमेंट स्टडीज इन क्लास 3 and 5 and language, mathematics, science and social science in class 8. It is going to cover around 38 lakh students in 1.3 lakh schools in 733 districts in India. Now The test paper, there will be a test paper which will be in a multiple choice format in 22 different languages. This test has been developed by National Council of Educational Research and Training, which is also called as NCRT. Now who will be conducting this test? The test will be conducted by Central Board of Secondary Education. Now panel report on data bill stalled again. So here we are discussing about the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Personal Data Protection Bill, and there has been certain last time changes. The problem is about the clause 28, which is related with rights in relation to automated decision making. इसके 3 सब क्लॉज हैं जो डेटा ओनर को, the one who is creating data, right देता है to file a complaint against the data controller. It was removed. Then there are certain provisions related to penalty. So the provisions for penalty for misuse of data was also changed or amended. So earlier the bill provided penalty of rupees 5 crore to 15 crore with an upper limit of 2 to 4% of the total revenue or total turnover of data form. For example, अगर Facebook किसी भी clause को violate करता है तो 5 to 15 crore will be the penalty, but it is not limited to that. It can also be increased from 5 to 15 crore to 2 to 4% of the total turnover of the data firm. Now this provision 2 to 4% of the total revenue of the data firm has been removed. Now lawyers oppose transfer of Madras High Court judge. तो हमें यहाँ पे बस इतना देखना है कि चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ मैड्रास हाई कोर्ट संजीव Banerjee, he has been transferred to High Court of Meghalaya. So now lawyers are opposing this. 200 lawyers are opposing this transfer by the Supreme Court Collegium. The next is one-liner news. PM to inaugurate Kashi Corridor project. So where is Kashi Corridor project? It is in Varanasi, and the inauguration will be done by our Prime Minister. So Kashi Vishwanath Temple Corridor project. It is the Lok Sabha constituency of Prime Minister, and this Kashi Vishwanath Temple, it is one of the Jyotirlinga in the country. This temple was constructed by a Holkar queen of Indore, Ahilya Bhai Holkar, who has created a series of temples and vistas leading up to the Ganga Ghat. The next is cyber crime went up by 500 during pandemic. So the Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, he has stressed the need for a national framework to thwart cyber attack, which has increased by 500% during pandemic. Now, why it is important? Because see this paragraph, the India Information Technology Act 2000 deals with cyber security and cyber crime, but according to General Bipin Rawat, this law is not equipped to tackle the new age changes in the mode of functioning of crimes in cyberspace. Okay, and also the delay in the passing of Personal Data Protection Bill, which has been tabled in Parliament 2 years ago. Also, this is one problem to fight cyber crime in India. So why there is so much emphasis on this cyber crime? Because data, which is the new gold mine for any organization. Okay, so cyber criminals, they increasingly using information to threaten the national security. The next news is China's Communist Party hails Helmsman Z after historic meet. अब ये हेल्म्समैन क्या है? हेल्म्स मतलब एकदम टॉप पे रहना. तो अब यहाँ पे दो चीज़ें हैं जिसको समझना ज़रूरी है. एक होता है प्लेनम, कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ चाइना से रिलेटेड है. एक होता है प्लेनम, एक होता है कांग्रेस. प्लेनम जो है वो एनुअली हेल्ड होता है, कांग्रेस 5 साल में एक बार होता है. सो दिस ईयर द प्लेनम वाज हेल्ड एंड इट हैज़ लेड टू पासिंग ऑफ third historic resolution after 1945 and 1981. ठीक है, 1945 का जो resolution था, it was passed by Mao Zedong, where he disassociated China's Communist Party from Stalin point of view. Then in 1981 the resolution was passed by Deng Xiaoping. Here he disassociated, means he launched something new. He moved away from the axis of Maoism and one-man personality cult, and he launched the reform era. So the one-man rule was replaced by collective leadership in 1981. Okay, so now what happened in 2021? Now in 2021 again the Chinese Communist Party has reverted back to one man leadership. Okay, so इसका हिस्ट्री ऐसा है कि 1945 में पहले आया वन मैन लीडरशिप, 1981 में रिफॉर्म्स वेर इंट्रोड्यूस्ड एंड कलेक्टिव लीडरशिप ऑफ कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी was introduced. Then again in 2021 what has happened, that has again reverted back to one man leadership, where China, Xi Jinping will be the core of Communist Party of China, and he is the only leader to be called as helmsman after Mao Zedong. In fact जो Deng Xiaoping थे उनको भी helmsman नहीं बोला गया था, he was only referred as paramount leader. Only Mao Zedong was referred as helmsman. Now what is the importance of this historic resolution passed by Communist Party of China in 2021? तो अगले साल कांग्रेस होने वाला है कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ चाइना का. ओवर हियर Xi Jinping विल बी कंसिडरिंग द थर्ड टर्म. ओके, तो जो देंग जियोपिंग थे इन्होंने 1981 के रेजोल्यूशन में दो चेंजेस लाए थे. एक तो कलेक्टिव लीडरशिप लाया था इन्होंने, दैट देयर विल बी अ कलेक्टिव लीडरशिप and there will be 10-year limit for the person who will be in the charge of Communist Party of China. But when Xi Jinping he became the president of China, he removed this 10-year term limit. So now after removing this term limit and after declaring himself as the core leader of Communist Party of China, now he will be seeking the third term. Now रशिया बेलारूस होल्ड ड्रिल्स नियर पोलैंड. तो ये इशू क्या चल रहा है पोलैंड और बेलारूस के बीच में? पोलैंड और बेलारूस के बीच में ये इशू चल रहा है कि बेलारूस इज फेसिंग सैंक्शंस फ्रॉम यूरोपियन यूनियन. नाउ व्हाट बेलारूस डिड, द स्ट्रॉन्ग मैन ऑफ बेलारूस प्रेसिडेंट अलेक्जेंडर लुकाशेंको, he brought many refugees, Kurdish refugees from West Asia into his country, and then he is pushing those Kurdish refugees into Poland, and then Poland is guarding its border so that there should not be any illegal infiltration into Poland. So now Belarus and Russian paratroopers, they have staged joint drills near the Poland and Lithuanian borders because of the standoff going on between Belarus and EU over migrants camped in freezing forest at the frontiers. The next is US clears way for spouses of H1B visa holders to work. पहले हम H1B visa देखते हैं. What is this H1B visa? So H1B visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows US companies to employ foreign workers, especially in expert field related to technical expertise or theoretical expertise. So technology companies like Google, Microsoft, they depend on it to hire employees from India and China for on a temporary or permanent basis. अब ऐसे एम्प्लॉयज़ जो हायर होते हैं उनके स्पाउस के लिए या उनके चिल्ड्रन के लिए जिनकी एज 21 ईयर्स एज से कम है उनके लिए H4 वीज़ा होता है. ओके, सो नाउ द बिडेन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन हैज़ एग्रीड टू प्रोवाइड ऑटोमेटिक वर्क ऑथराइजेशन परमिट टू द स्पाउसेस ऑफ H1B वीज़ा होल्डर्स. मतलब H1B वीज़ा होल्डर किसे मिलेगा? प्रोफेशनल्स को. उनके डायरेक्ट डिपेंडेंट को H4 वीज़ा मिलेगा. द H4 वीज़ा comes with work permit that they can also go to US and they can work over there, and in future they can seek lawful permanent resident status in US. From economy, small investors salaried can now buy government bonds easily. So there were two schemes, retail direct scheme released by RBI and ombudsman scheme. So the RBI's retail direct and integrated ombudsman scheme are the two schemes which put citizen at the center. So RBI retail direct scheme में क्या होगा? जो salaried people हैं, middle class हैं, small traders हैं, they can invest through banks and mutual funds, okay, for buying the government securities. So small investors can directly invest in government securities under RBI retail direct scheme. फिर जो integrated ombudsman scheme है, it is the cost free redressal of customer complaints against financial entities regulated by RBI. The next is October passenger vehicle wholesale declined 27%. तो देखिए यहाँ पे दो इम्पॉर्टेंट रीज़न है कि क्यों पैसेंजर व्हीकल का जो सेल है वो डिक्लाइन हो रहा है या प्रोडक्शन क्यों डिक्लाइन हो रहा है. तो चिप स्कैरसिटी, जो सेमी कंडक्टर से बनता है उसकी स्कैरसिटी है. द सेकेंड इज मटेरियल कॉस्ट इज़ वेरी हाई. नाउ वर्ल्ड चैम्पियनशिप्स ब्रॉन्ज मेडलिस्ट सरिता मोर, शी डिफीटेड former Commonwealth Games champion Geeta Fogart in final to win women's 59 kg title at National Wrestling Championship. So this is important that Sarita Moore, she defeated Geeta Fogart to win National Wrestling Championship in 59 kg title. Now जो editorial आज हमारे लिए important है, the numbers game, then we will have one editorial about NAM, and then the next is about focus on full vaccination. Now the numbers game. So over here we are talking about Glasgow. So it is going on discussing that China and India is the third largest emitter of carbon dioxide in the world, and China is also the second largest emitter. So but India and China, they have committed to net zero emission target at 2060 for China and 2070 for India. Apart from that, they have not agreed to phasing out, they have not given any date that when they will be phasing out coal. So that is also important. Now what is the point of view of these developing countries? The most important thing is about the development climate finance for adaptation and mitigation, and this was put forward in Paris Climate Agreement, but the developing country have got very small fraction of it, and now they want a concrete proposal from developed country to receive climate finance for adaptation and mitigation. The second thing is that apart from this, there should be some favorable trade relations, removing of barriers, so that the technology transfer for adaptation for climate friendly technology can take place in developing country. The next is focus on full vaccination. So we are doing about the article related to AY4.2. This AY4.2 is a sublineage of Delta variant. It is increasing the rate of COVID-19 infection in the United Kingdom. Now INSAGOG has released a report saying that in India the Delta variant is only a variant of concern. No other variant has emerged in India. Then the World Health Organization bulletin has also said that the Delta variant has become globally predominant, and it has outcompeted other variants. In most countries, 99.6% of the genome sequence posted on the global database are Delta. अब कल हमने एक न्यूज़ पढ़ा था जिसमें हमारे हेल्थ मिनिस्टर श्री मनसुख मांडविया, he said that in India only 38% have been fully vaccinated, okay, and 80% of the eligible adults have received the first dose, and he had said that his government has launched Har Ghar Dastak, okay, for improving the second dose inoculation in India. Now we have experience from universal immunization program for children that outreach programs like Har Ghar Dastak is very important to remove vaccine hesitancy and to target the population by increasing the outreach. अब एक प्रॉब्लम जो है इंडिया में कि क्यों सेकेंड डोज लोग बहुत ज़्यादा मिस कर रहे हैं, तो इसमें हमें समझने के लिए वैक्सीन के स्केड्यूल को समझना पड़ेगा. तो कोविशील्ड जो है दैट इज़ 90% ऑफ द वैक्सीन एडमिनिस्टर्ड इज कोविशील्ड. कोविशील्ड में गैप कितना है? 84 डेज का. ये एक लंबा गैप है. सो व्हाट इज़ हैपनिंग, पीपल दे आर टेकिंग फर्स्ट डोज बट दे आर मिसिंग द सेकेंड डोज. The next is about NAM. So what is NAM? It is non-aligned movement. ये जो है पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू का जो फॉरेन पॉलिसी उनका था, ये बहुत ही क्रूशियल पॉलिसी था. एंड व्हेन इंडिया गॉट इंडिपेंडेंस इट वाज आफ्टर द वर्ल्ड वॉर टू. सो आफ्टर द वर्ल्ड वॉर टू द होल वर्ल्ड वाज डिवाइडेड इनटू टू कैंप, कैपिटलिस्ट कैंप एंड कम्युनिस्ट कैंप. कैपिटलिस्ट कैंप वाज लेड बाय यूएस एंड कम्युनिस्ट कैंप वाज लेड बाय रशिया. So there was a military alliances being formed, which led to Cold War. Now India, which was a newly developed country, it did not want it to join any military alliance. It wanted to remain non-aligned to any of these groups. So India formulated non-aligned movement. Okay, and then this non-aligned movement served India very better in the early period of foreign policy. Now if we will just see that it has also gone through many challenges. It has also has many benefits, like when India was the member of NAM, so India equidistanced itself from both the Koreas and both the Vietnams, and but it recognized one party in two China and two Germany. मीन्स चाइना का जो हम तैवान और मेन लैंड चाइना कर रहे हैं तो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज टू चाइना. टू जर्मनी मीन्स देयर वाज वेस्ट जर्मनी एंड ईस्ट जर्मनी which was unified in 1991, and then India also signed a friendship treaty with USSR. Now over here the 1st September day of non-alignment has come and gone unnoticed. It shows that non-alignment currently India is not pursuing. India is, you can say, semi-aligned towards United States currently, given the current scenario of India, the dispute with China, and the rising Chinese assertiveness in Indo-Pacific region. So that's all for today. We will meet again next week with the Daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice day. Take care. Happy weekend. Thank you.